Hello friends, happy Mario Day! What better way to celebrate that than to look at Mario's past platformers? And what better way to look back at them than to make a list of my 10 favourites? If you enjoy these lists, I've already done my top 10 favourite Mario power-ups, so once you've seen this one, check the link in the description for that video and subscribe if you like what you see. Obviously these fun lists, they need some strict rules. Firstly, I am only looking at the mainline platformers, so there won't be any carts, sports, papers or parties here. I am also omitting any remakes, ports or collections too, just the original base games. Basically, all of the games scrolling past in this intro are the ones eligible. And remember that these are just my personal favourites, so don't be offended if I miss any out. I do like every single one of these games. I just prefer 10 over the rest. I usually stick my honourable mentions in the intro, but since I'm scrolling through all of the options here, just consider the games that don't make the list to be those mentions of honourability. So sit back, relax and enjoy my top 10 favourite Super Mario games.
Here we go!
New Super Mario Bros. U. Let's begin with an entry from the New series. It was a toss-up between this one or the original DS release, but I just prefer the Wii U entry. It may not have been looked at too fondly. I mean, people felt burnt out with the series since they released this one just a few months after the 3DS game, but looking at the 4 games in their own right, I think this is the best one. I like the flying squirrel suit, the baby Yoshis, the map screen is just one big world like in Super Mario World, the boss fights might be the Koopalings again but I really enjoyed them still. I think the Wii game had the best power-ups though, but hey, those power-ups made their way into this game too. And that challenge mode, all platformers should have stuff like this. Shovel Knight and Mega Man manage it, so let's see all of them do it. It also got DLC in New Super Luigi U, which I also loved, but that's not a Mario game, so I can't count that. Unless you count New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, but that is a port, so I can't count that either. Damn my rules. Just after that game was ported to the Switch, the next entry on this list was announced.
Oh yeah, Mario time! Here we go!
Super Mario Maker 2. What a great concept. I loved it on the Wii U and I love it even more on the Switch. I'm not much of a level creator, but I enjoy playing other people's levels. There are so many possibilities and you've got pretty much endless Mario. They added in many more enemies, themes, a 3D world style and power-ups that turn you into Link or a Mario 2 playstyle. It does have a fun story mode that can show off different mechanics and how they're used, but the endless run is where it's at. The online multiplayer is definitely lacking, but I'm not in this game for that. I'm here to try out other people's levels and marvel at the creativity shown here. You do get the occasional bad level with beginner's traps, but I'm finding they are much less frequent here than in the first game. Plus, you get to play as Toadette. That's always good.
Here we go!
Super Mario 3D World. As much as I loved 3D Mario games, when I was younger, I wished we could see a 3D Mario without health bars, where your health was determined by power-ups, like in the classic 2D ones. Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS answered that wish, and I loved it, but the formula they made with that game was perfected on the Wii U with Super Mario 3D World. Bringing back the 4 playable characters from Mario 2, as well as Rosalina with the Galaxy Spin Jump, this was a linear platformer with some fantastic levels, co-op multiplayer that worked better than in the 2D Marios, secrets that required certain characters which encouraged you to try each one out, and that cat suit. Oh my, how I love that cat suit. And in 2021 it received a re-release on the Nintendo Switch where they upped the speed of the game, added online play, but best of all, added an extra mode called Bowser's Fury. And as per my rules, I can't include this version on this list as it is a port technically. I'd like to still acknowledge that awesome Bowser's Fury mode, making the game so much more open while still being true to Mario 3D World's mechanics, as well as that awesome design for Fury Bowser, really adding to the tension of this. This was just an all-round great experience to an already fantastic game.
Here we go!
Super Mario Galaxy. I have been yo-yoing between this one and the sequel as to which one I prefer, but overall I feel I've had a much better time with the original Galaxy. This took 3D platforming to new heights with an overabundance of gravity-based mechanics and sphere walking. The galaxies are so varied and just keep throwing new challenges at you. I remember buying this for myself around my 21st birthday. I had a party and the next day there was a group of us that hung around my house all day playing this game together, taking it in turns with a second player helping collect star pieces. I remember the first time we saw that spring power up and just seeing how Mario bounces around with it made us laugh so hard. I mean, little things like that help you remember these games as an experience and make you look more fondly at them years down the line. Oh, and that music too. Need I say more?
Here we go!
Super Mario Bros. 2. Everyone, this game is a reskin of Doki Doki Panic. Did anyone know that? There was a time when that fact just had to be said every time this game got mentioned, using it as a reason to hate on this game. In my view though, this game was released as Mario 2. The actual Mario 2 was called The Lost Levels here, and to me, this game here is Mario 2 and it always will be, and it is an excellent game. I'd love to see Nintendo do another Mario platformer like this. Jumping on enemies doesn't kill them, instead you throw vegetables at them. You had 4 characters, each of them playing different, the princess being our favourite since she could float in the air. The bosses were interesting and some played bigger roles in the Super Show. The levels were fun to explore with plenty of secrets. Finding the mushrooms in subspace always felt like a triumph. It introduced Birdo, Shy Guys and plenty more to the Mario franchise, including the playstyles of the 4 main characters that were then brought back for 3D World, which I mentioned earlier.
Here we go!
Super Mario World. I only saw this game once as a child, as I never owned a Super Nintendo, but my friend showed it to me. I got to see the beginning of the game and the very end, and I was just in awe. It wasn't until I was 19 that I bought the GBA remake of this game, and later played the Super Nintendo version on the Virtual Console. And I just know that if I had this game as a child, I would have put this game a lot higher than number 5, possibly number 1. Child me would have gone crazy over this game. Child me would have spent countless hours finding the secret exits. Child me would have been over the top excited discovering the secret Star Road. But sadly I experienced this game too late and I already knew about some of the secrets. But it really is telling of this game's quality that despite a lot of it being ruined for me, I still regard it as one of the best Mario games out there. Adult me might be placing this in at number 5, but child me definitely would have put it higher up. Oh, and it introduced Yoshi too. Maybe it should have been number 1 then.
Here we go!
Super Mario Bros. The first Nintendo game I ever played, and it started my lifelong passion for gaming. This is an important game for a lot of people and for gaming as a whole. I won't say too much about it here, as I've already made a video sharing my memories of this game. Link is in the description. It's a game that I just have to play every time I see it. It's 35 years old and has stood the test of time. It's widely available on lots of systems, everyone has played it, everyone loves it. Moving on.
Here we go!
Super Mario Odyssey. When the Switch came out, we were all playing Breath of the Wild, which was an amazing time. But I always had in the back of my mind, how long until Odyssey comes out? Super Mario Odyssey brought Mario back to the sandbox 3D collectathon platforming, and it was structured less like Mario 64 and Sunshine and more like Banjo-Kazooie, in that you could collect the moons without having to leave the level each time. I love collectathons, and the fact that this game has an abundance of moons to find, I am just in heaven here. The different kingdoms are a lot of fun to explore, the controls are nigh on perfect, and the capture mechanic was a genius move, bringing a brand new gameplay style to Mario without altering anything about his identity. His hat has always been there, let's have him use it now. The enemies have always had their own ways of behaving, and now we can use their moves to our advantage. I love this game so much, it's one of the best games I've ever played. The more times I replay it, the better it gets, and I can see many more playthroughs on the horizon.
Here we go!
Super Mario 64. New Year's Eve 1997. My brother and I had been saving up to buy two things together, a Nintendo 64 and Super Mario 64. I remember vividly that night we first booted it up and got lost in Peach's castle trying to find where the first level was. How many classic moments does this game have? Racing Koopa the Quick, going down the slide, returning Tuxie to Mother Penguin, swinging Bowser by the tail, riding Dory around the cabin, flying with the wing cap, blasting out of cannons, it just goes on. This was a game everyone talked about on the playground, and I had a reputation for knowing everything about this game. Every day I would have people asking me how to get a certain star, and I always knew how. I've beaten this game at least 20 times, and with 3D All-Stars I can beat it again and again on the go. I do think Odyssey is a better game overall, but the experiences child me had with this game can never be topped, so this will always remain in the highest spot. Except for one game.
Here we go! Here we go!
Super Mario Bros. 3. There really is no other game I could put in first place, with the original Super Mario Bros. Being my first experience with the character and what I was used to. When I first saw this game, it really did blow me away. It had really fun power-ups, the raccoon tail, seeing Mario take to the skies was what this game was all about. The frog suit made underwater levels more fun, and that Hammer Brothers suit. It was a rare one which just made it feel so precious. My brother and I played this in multiplayer so often, dragging each other into that Mario Brothers bonus stage to steal each other's turns. The levels are so memorable, that giant world is always fondly remembered by people, myself included. The map screen was new to the series and gave you options at times of where to go, with extras such as mushroom houses to give you items, which you can use on whichever levels you pleased. The time I spent on this game as a child just cannot be matched. Even playing it as an adult is never done in the slightest. It is my favourite Mario game of all time. So there you have it, my top 10 favourite Mario games. What are your favourites? Let me know down below, and make sure to like and subscribe while you are down there, and check out a couple more videos in the description to see my memories of Super Mario Brothers, as well as my top 10 favourite Mario power-ups. Thank you all for watching, see you in the next one.